Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Another version of Monday Musings where I stick on the camera and I just ramble whatever is on my mind FPL wise. We'll try to keep it FPL wise, but you never know. Some random stuff might also pop up from time to time. So you should be able to see my team on the screen. I'm sitting on, I think it's 45 points when I factor in the -4 because I've got Joachim Andersen here coming off the bench for Semenyo. Nice slice of luck there. Elsewhere, the -4 was taken on Friday. I got rid of Gyw13, also got rid of Kudus, 2 assets, 1 injured, 1 not doing very much. Brought in Brennan Bumo and Thiago. Thiago could have been a master stroke. Could have been 2 penalties, but he decided to miss one towards the end of the game. The 13-pointer, possible 13-pointer, became a 4-pointer, but 4 points is a lot more than my strikers have been getting on average this season, so I will take that as a small victory. I was tempted to go all the way to a -8 and get rid of Nick Pope for Sanchez or Donnarumma. In the end, I decided against it and didn't get stung too much. Would have been up slightly on Sanchez, but Sanchez plays Arsenal this week, and that's kind of what put me off making the move for Gw13. My player of the season, Daniel Munoz, with a 14-pointer. Anderson off the bench, so those two combined for 24 makes for a green arrow. Hopefully, Bruno Fernandes and Bumo on Monday night. Both of them hopefully can get 10 pointers, would be lovely. 600k green arrow last week. Should be something similar this week, as long as one of those guys can do something. Matera and Sarr, very, very frustrating again. I think that's 5 blanks in a row for Sarr. So much promise when he came in. Good fixtures, always looks good, but not getting the FPL points. Seen someone comparing him to Wilfred Zaha as an FPL troll in a Crystal Palace shirt, and it's hard to argue with that over the last 5 game weeks. Matera off around the 59th minute mark. Is he carrying something? I think there was some talk of that after the international break, so we need to monitor that one closely. Captain Saka, Arsenal score 4. Saka does nothing but DEFCON. Again, frustrating, but what a performance from Eze in that North London derby, and what a goal from Richarlison as well. I was sitting in the pub having a nice carvery with a family. Football was on in the background, and I was very, very happy to see Richarlison wipe out the Arsenal clean sheet. Another small victory for me at the weekend. So yeah, Anderson on the bench. I still have Gabriel and Chris Wood to deal with. I've only got 1 free transfer this week. We'll have a quick jump over here to the transfers page. Of course, there's all the European action midweek, so I won't be making any moves. Need an update on Semenyo. It did sound like he had illness in the end, towards the end of last week, and they weren't able to assess his ankle injury. So hopefully he's back for Sunderland, because I'd quite like to own him for that fixture. The midfield 5 will probably stay as it is, as long as there's no injuries, although there is some tempting options. Rodgers has a good fixture this week off the back of the brace. Manchester City midfielder at home to Leeds. I could take a punt there, for example, to counteract no Haaland. Up front, happy with Thiago, home to Burnley. Might even give him the armband this week. Matera, will probably just keep him. Going to have 5 assets in the Manchester United Crystal Palace fixture, which doesn't feel great, but hopefully it's a high scoring game, and 3 or 4 of those guys can be involved in the attack and returns. There probably is the possibility to roll a transfer this week. I know it doesn't make much sense with Gabriel and Chris Wood there, but I could play Senesi, Munoz, Virgil probably, although Virgil, probably a case to be playing Anderson over Virgil at this stage. Midfield 5, if Semenyo's okay, looks fine, and Thiago Matera up front. But if I scroll down here and I look at the fixtures, there's some very nice fixtures this week. Could look at adding a second Brentford attacker against Burnley, Kevin Shada or Dango, for example. I think I do prefer Shada for 1 million extra. Phil Foden has been very quiet in recent games, but he's got a lovely fixture. He's got a nice run of fixtures. Could take a punt on a Doku or a Cherky, but I think it would be Foden for Semenyo if there was any Semenyo issues. Elsewhere, you have Villa home to Wolves, Morgan Rogers, but I don't think the fixtures are as good after that. Gw13's been very good recently. He could come in at home to Brighton. Chelsea, Arsenal, probably won't touch that one for transfers in. And likewise, West Ham, Liverpool. hard to go near Liverpool assets at all at the moment. So if I jump back over here to the team, if Semenyo's okay, this is probably what I roll with for the weekend. We've then got a midweek round. There's going to be 3 game weeks in the next week or so, starting at the weekend. So maybe having the 2 frees for the midweek round might be useful. But I am getting frustrated with Sarr, and he is going to AFCON soon. So I'm tempted to rip him out, reduce my exposure to the Manchester United Crystal Palace game, and maybe a Rodgers or a Foden or something like that, maybe even a Kevin Shada just as a differential. Defence feels okay, even though the fixtures are maybe not so good. At least some of those can get DEFCON if they don't keep clean sheets. Anderson making a strong case for a starting spot as well, because he very often gets those 4-pointers with the DEFCON. Gabriel, Chris Woods, I probably should look at selling those guys as well. When I look at this though, if I was to sell Gabriel, which defender do I bench? It's probably Virgil. But again, it's West Ham. They concede a lot from set pieces, so this could be Virgil's week to score. Chris Wood I could sell, but I'm kind of happy with the front 7. I think I would rather sell Sarr for a high upside replacement rather than selling the Chris Wood. I've only got 0.7 in the bank. So obviously, a lot of options, but only 1 free transfer and lots of football to come during the week as well. Before I finish up, quick look at the fixture ticker on the Scout, in the Scout members area. Scout have a Black Friday offer at the moment as well, so check that out if you're not a subscriber. This is sort of by difficulty for the next 4 game weeks, which is at the point where we'll all get topped up to 5 free transfers. So top of the ticker are Liverpool. They play West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds and Brighton. I think Salah, Gakpo, etc. will be popular on free hit this week against West Ham. But do you want these players long term is the question. Newcastle are next on the ticker. They play Everton, Tottenham, Burnley and Sunderland. Manchester United third on the ticker. That's why I've got double Manchester United midfield. Manchester City have got a really nice run. Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland, Palace. More Erling Haaland pain on the way for me. But I am tempted to tap into the midfield. I know it's risky with minutes, but Foden, Cherki, Doku, they're all attractive to try and get some of those Manchester City attacking points. And Forest make up the top 5 in the ticker. So Gibbs, White, Anderson, maybe even their defenders now as well for Brighton, Wolves and Everton. Bottom of the ticker are Leeds, Sunderland, Wolves, Chelsea and West Ham. So there you have it, folks. Just a bit of a ramble. Trying to think if there's anything worth talking about before I go. I know a lot of people are going to free hit this week. Those who have triple captain left as well, you might be in a quandary. Do you triple captain Haaland or do you free hit? It's definitely team dependent. If your team is weak this week, then free hit's probably better. But I do think this is the best week for triple captain Haaland if you still have the chip left. I really like triple captain Haaland at home to Leeds, and I will not be watching that game. Thankfully, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, so it's not on TV in the UK, so I can just do something else while that's on. If you are on a free hit this week, you're looking at Brentford at home to Burnley. So Thiago's obvious. You're probably going to have a defender or Kelleher, the goalkeeper. Maybe you go after Collins for some DEFCON, although maybe Burnley's not the best fixture to get those defensive contributions. Man City home to Leeds, you double up or you triple up. I think you get O'Reilly in defence, you get Haaland, and then you take a punt on a midfielder. Now there is no early kickoff. So Manchester City are part of the first group of fixtures. So there might be team news on Saturday, which would be quite useful for free hit managers. Helpful for myself as well if I decide to buy Phil Foden or one of the others. Elsewhere, fixture-wise for free hit, you're looking at Aston Villa home to Wolves. Rodgers is an easy pick. Maybe Watkins as well for 1 week. And then probably a defender or the goalkeeper. Nottingham Forest home to Brighton looks okay as well. Gibbs White's probably a free hit pick. Liverpool, you probably do have a few of them, but maybe not the defenders. And Chelsea Arsenal, big decision for free hitters. Do you stick with your Arsenal guys or do you let them go? I'd probably go somewhere in between, maybe keep 1 or 2 and avoid the triple up. Terrible time to need to cough right at the end of a video, but I don't do any editing, so you'll get to enjoy that cough. So yeah, that's a bit of a ramble on Monday, folks. I'll try and make this a regular thing throughout the season. Might be tricky over Christmas, going to Ireland for a week, so Probably won't bring the microphone with me, but we'll try to get one out again next week. It is a busy week next week with the midweek round of fixtures. Have a good week, enjoy the European action, and I'll talk to you all soon.